Don't worry, he won't get far on foot. Directed by Gus Van Sant, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Jonah Hill, Rooney Mara, and Jack Black. It is a biographical drama based on a memoir, a real life story of a man named John Callahan. In the film, he's played by Phoenix, and in the first half, through various conversations, flashbacks, and non chronological sequences, we learn how he basically hit rock bottom in his life. He was a raging alcoholic, had psychological trauma, a long time resentment for his biological mother, who he never met because she gave him up for adoption. And during one of his alcoholic benders, he was in a car crash that left him paralyzed from the chest down. You can obviously imagine that also didn't do a lot of good for him, pushed him even further into drinking and increased his alcoholic, alcoholic but also assholish tendencies and behavior. Until one day, he has a revelation and decides to try and turn his life around. And the rest of the movie is about that path to redemption, to picking up the pieces of your broken life, ditching alcohol with the help of AA, and finding new purpose in life in the form of drawing comic strips. So the film had a limited release in 2018 and went mostly unnoticed by the general audience, which is interesting to me because just a year later we had a massively successful film similar in many ways, also starring Joaquin Phoenix, heavily centered around his character, a seriously broken man, albeit the ultimate trajectory of the character was quite different in the case of the latter film. I am, of course, talking about Joker, the runaway hit that showed the world how uncomic booky a comic book movie can be. Of course, reasons for the difference in how the two movies fared are simple. Joker is a recognizable character, the film had massive marketing push and the backing of a major studio. Nonetheless, Don't Worry He Won't Get Far on Foot does bear similarities, at least in the first half, when we see John fall as low as a man can be, crawl inside the bottle and progressively fuck up his life step after step. It is quite visceral and depressing. But then we have that second half, and it turns out that this is a story not about falling down primarily, but about coming back from that fall and coming back stronger than ever. In many ways, the film personifies the saying, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I think that the film is pretty decent. It manages to get its message across, even if it is a bit flawed and preachy at times. It has its undeniable charm. Its primary strength are the performances. I think Phoenix is great as always, although, to be fair, compared to some of his other roles, it's not as memorable. Jonah Hill is really good as the AA sponsor. He kind of plays against his type, isn't a loud, funny guy, more of a stoic performance, but still completely believable. The highlight for me, though, was Jack Black. He essentially only shows up 2 times in the film. At the beginning, he's doing what he's usually doing, an energetic, slightly comedic performance. But then he pops up again towards the end of the film for just one short scene, and my god, he manages to steal away the entire movie with that. It's a terrific moment, full of gravity, and he's able to communicate so many emotions through just his face and eyes. It's unbelievable. That scene reminded me very heavily of the reunion scene at the end of Moonlight, in a way, although the tone is different. All in all, while I don't think the film as a whole is a masterpiece for the ages, I do believe it's a reasonably good movie. It's uplifting and inspiring and heartwarming, and convincingly manages to make its argument that it's never too late to find it in yourself to become a better person.